Imagine if you had a time machine where you can go into the future and figure out what works and what doesn't work, and then come back into the present and start taking actions and molding the situation in the present to get yourself to that future that you want. Guess what, guys? You already have it. It's called your imagination and your due diligence. And the truth is, you've only got 24 hours in a day, right? If you use even 16 hours of those 24 hours every day wisely, you can start building the critical skills that will help keep you ahead no matter how fast the world changes. Change is inevitable, it's happening, it's not something you can stop. You know, things are constantly in motion out there. And with the advent of AI and machine learning and all this other kind of stuff and automation, things are moving even faster than they were previously. It's accelerating at an exponential rate, guys. And if you guys can't keep up with it and upskill yourself and increase and improve your skills, you're probably going to get left behind. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to get left behind and start struggling even more than you were, or do you want to keep up and move forward and not just survive but thrive, right? So let's go ahead and get into some of these talking points, so I can give you my thoughts that I've written down here for you guys to try to be concise for you guys and expound upon some of my thoughts on some of this stuff here and what you probably need to do, right? Number one, let's focus on the looming skills gap. There are people out there who are more skilled than others, right? It's not an equal playing field. Some people have more skills than others. Some people have skills in things that don't matter at all. And so, you know, you're not going to get compensated for it because the skills you've developed don't really matter to anyone, right? You got a degree in German polka dot history or whatever. No one really in this day and age, at least in 2025, really cares to pay you a bunch of money so you can use your knowledge and your skills and abilities on German polka dot history to do things. You know, I don't know who told you to go to college and study what makes you feel good, you know, based off your feelings. You know, I don't know why your family members and your friends and your circle didn't tell you to be systematic, be strategic, you know, reverse engineer. Like I said, use your imagination, use your due diligence, go into the future and try to figure out. This is something. Can anybody predict the future? No, you can't. Can you make educated guesses and estimations? Yes, you can. That's one of the things that differentiates the human beings from the rest of the animal kingdom. We have a brain, we have a consciousness where we can self-reflect, where we can kind of look into the future, think into the future, you know. Unless you're doing some kind of unless you're on some kind of special medication or some drugs or whatever's going on, whatever you got going on, dude, you got to get off that stuff so you can think clearly, so you can start understanding how to see into the future, make educated guesses, educated predictions, and then reverse engineer your current situation so you can get to that future where you're thriving, right? Part of that process is understanding what you need to do to improve your skills out there so that people would want to pay you for those skills. I had a bunch of missed phone calls this morning from people trying to talk to me, trying to get me to help them with their situation because I bring skills to the table that they have difficulty finding. So they're desperately trying to reach out to me to help them out. Because I took the time and others out there took the time if their situation's like that. Meanwhile, you have people here struggling. They can't land an interview. They can't land a job. They're feeling the pain. You know, I don't want to make fun of it of people, but let's be grounded in facts and reality, guys. How many people can get hired to send out to go put packages, send out Amazon packages, or do DoorDash, or do Uber Eats, or do all this other stuff? Is it a way for you to kind of have some trickle in some little side income and make it? Yeah. Is it going to help you like become a multi-millionaire or decamillionaire and all that kind of stuff in a short, concise, quick amount of time? No, it's not. You need to improve your skills, and you need to improve your abilities. You need to bring things. You need to improve your value in the marketplace. The marketplace doesn't care about your feelings and what you identify as and all this kind of stuff. The market's not going to pay you because you identify, you internally in your feelings you identify as some magical creature that can do everything, and so I got to get paid. The marketplace doesn't care about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to test your skills and abilities. And when the proof is in the pudding, can you make things happen, or can you not make things happen? Do you have the skills and abilities to engineer? Can you engineer the airplane, or can you not engineer the airplane? Go ahead and put it in the things. Go ahead and get the airplane built, and we'll go ahead and check it and see if it can fly. Is it going to fly, or is it going to end up killing everyone on board because you don't know what the hell you're doing? You just thought you did because you think in your feelings that you're special. Get your skills up, guys. Improve your skills. Be grounded in facts. Be grounded in reality. Take the time to understand how to do these things properly that end up paying you well, right? Your communication skills are another secret thing that'll pay you well. But I'm digressing here. Let's focus on the fact that there is a looming skills gap, guys. Technology is moving faster than ever. AI, robotics, quantum computing, all this stuff is moving forward and it's making progress, and it's going to become more and more of a reality. And the shelf life of the skills that you currently have are probably going to shrink. Don't get comfortable, guys. The people who get comfortable and complacent are the people who are you're putting yourself in danger. You got to stay on top of things. You got to make sure that you and your tribe are, in your circle are staying on top and staying ahead of the game. Don't get comfortable and complacent. Okay, because there's people out there who are not going to be comfortable and complacent. They're going to stay ahead of the curve, and they're going to end up taking you out and beating you in the marketplace, where they'll make a lot more money than you. Okay, and all this other kind of stuff, right? In this life and in the hereafter. Try to bring God into it as well, and all things that you do, right? What worked yesterday won't guarantee tomorrow. You thought you had it all figured out, for the past 2-3 years, but things are moving fast, guys. Things are going to change quickly. You need to stay on top of it. It's either the reality is you either need to adapt or you're going to get left behind. You either adapt or you get left behind. A simple example: you were a car mechanic. You were working on combustion engine cars. Well, that's great, but electric vehicles have hit the marketplace, and they're becoming more and more prevalent. So if all you know how to work on is gas cars, combustion engine cars, then you might get left behind. And if you're stubborn and you don't want to learn the electric vehicles, then you might get left behind. What happens when there's no more combustion engines? Like you said, you can't predict the future, right? How do you know what's going to happen? How do you know, like 2 years down the road, something happens to where no one's allowed to have combustion engines, because it's easier for the government to control control you and shut down your car remotely, electronically. They have more control. For the government, they would love to have that, right? They would love to have more control over you, right? So go ahead and get that electric vehicle, and that way we can control it. We can automatically control it remotely. When we don't want you to go somewhere, we just shut down the car, right? Something to think about from a lot of different angles. So we're entering an age where your current expertise could mean nothing in just a few years, guys. AI is automating tasks, robotics is reshaping industries, even quantum computing is rewriting the rules. The shelf life of skills is shorter than ever. What's valuable today might be obsolete tomorrow. The question is, will you adapt or will you get left behind? Point number two here that I wanted to touch on with you guys is you need to decode tomorrow, the time machine of your mind, that you can go in and try to predict these things, do your best estimate. You need to do these things. Don't have the mentality like, oh, nobody can predict the future, so I'm going to sit here like a zombie and not do anything. Do the best that you can to the best of your abilities to try to stay ahead of the game. Decode tomorrow. Understand, try to learn what the in-demand skills are going to be. The meta skills are very important, and they're kind of, if you're not sure what to focus on, focus on kind of the high level big picture. The ability to be adaptable is a highly valued skill. you know the ability to be able to think critically, not just have someone tell you, hey, go ahead and go stand here and do this and move your hand like this and pick this up and put it here, pick this up and put it here, do that for 8 hours and I'm going to pay you like a robot. Like, okay, I can get a monkey to do that, right? But I cannot get a monkey to think critically. And if you're able to think critically and understand, like, hey, let me step back from the small little baby tasks and understand I'm working for a business. The business wants to make money. They hired me on to do this, but let me try to connect it to, why are they getting me to do this simple little task? How is it making them money? It's automatic. Try to connect the dots on, um, and let them understand that you understand that this is what you need to do. Like, you're not just doing things, you understand why you're doing it because it has a bigger business value. And so maybe you can even, if you can demonstrate that to the higher ups or wherever you're working at currently, if you're trading your time for money, they'd be like, wow, Monica or Christopher, he's not just a simple-minded little task person that I give minimum wage. He understands the bigger picture of what we're doing here. Let's get him off of the factory lines, and let's get him into the boardrooms, because this guy's smarter than we thought he was. Maybe he can help us understand these things. I mean, he was out there doing this stuff. He knows how to do it. Maybe he can help us improve. He's a smart guy, you know. Your critical thinking skills, it helps you get out of that minimum wage stuff and gets you up into the bigger the management levels, right? Systems thinking about systems, being able to think about systems. These get you into the higher tiers of income. These are the skills and abilities, your critical thinking skills and abilities. Your systems thinking. How does this improve the business? The business wants to make money. How can you help the business make money? Cut costs here to do that. Ultimately, these are skills that you can improve. That you can improve. Don't just be a little worker. A little worker bee. You got to think critically. Think about, like, what if you owned the business? How would you? What would you want to do in order to make your business more profitable? If you owned a business, do you want to have to pay a bunch of people, uh, you know, salaries and hourly wages, or would you just pay a bunch of money for like an automated machine that can do the task, and you don't have to pay insurance, you don't have to pay health insurance, you don't have to pay anything, and you could just automate the whole process? Ultimately, as a business, if you're a cutthroat business, and that's how businesses are, they're cutthroat. That's the reality of it. A lot of them. They're only worried about making their money and getting their bottom line. And if that's the case, picking a machine that never gets tired, never has to do sick days, never has to do any of this other stuff. You don't have to do sick pay or maternity leave or paternity leave or none of that stuff. And they just work 20. Not only can I get the machine to work 8 hours, I can get the machine to work 24 hours, 3x the productivity. And no, I don't have to pay the machine benefits. I don't have to pay the machine anything. As a business, you tell me which one would I want to go for. Let's be real here. Let's be grounded in reality here, like I said, guys. So you got to bring things to the table where you got to be adaptable. These are the realities of the situation out there. So, you know, the skills that a machine can't do, is going to have more difficulty doing, is the critical thinking, the systems thinking, the meta skills is what they call it. The other skills are the human-centric skills, the emotional intelligence, which is something I'm not good at. I'm ones and zeros here, guys. But I do understand that it's important to be have emotional intelligence, creativity, collaboration skills. You know, these are important skills that if you can bring people together and get them to be productive, hey, that's a big skill. A lot of people don't seem to have that because they underestimate these skills and abilities. But the ability to bring people together to be productive and make progress and get things done, that's a big skill that gets you into those higher tiers of income, right? Digital fluency. You have to be good at computers. You have to get good at the doing things online. You have to be agile and nimble, or you will get left behind. Everything's happening on the laptop and on the computer now. especially the skills that pay you a lot more. That's just the reality of it, right? Even as a mechanic or anything else, you're working. You got a computer right there with you that's diagnosing things. You know, diagnostic tools and everything else. You no longer have to go in and manually look at things with your eyeballs. There's systems and circuit boards on the car that will help you diagnose and assess what the issue might be. Right there is proof right there for you that things are changing. It wasn't always like that before, right? So which means that ties into the digital fluency, data literacy, cybersecurity, AI frameworks. These are all things that you can start delving into that'll start getting you ahead of the curve. How many people out there you think are taking the time to actually learn how to learn these things properly? Aside from just going to the Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, Perplexity or whatever else, and just talking back and forth with the AI. How many people out there are actually trying to build their own, and actually successfully doing it and all this kind of stuff, and understanding the limitations and whatnot, right? So the future won't belong to people who memorize facts, guys. Okay, it belongs to people who can think critically, adapt to the change, and connect the dots between complex systems. Human skills like emotional intelligence and creativity are more valuable than ever. Okay, don't stop at the basic digital literacy either, guys. If you want to differentiate yourself from the herd out there, understand the data, understand cybersecurity, understand how AI frameworks actually work and how they shape the future, and how they are shaping the future right now, right in front of your eyeballs, right? And start decoding, what these in-demand skills are going to be, right? Number three that I want to touch on with you guys is personal skill audit. What you guys need to do once you've assessed the skills that you think are important, that you need to focus on out there, you need to have an honest, real, personal skills audit of your own skills, not grounded in your delulu la la land thoughts. It needs to be grounded in reality. Just because you think you're a princess or some kind of king or whatever, and you think that you're going to that you deserve everything in the world, and hey, you do. But if you're if you're not if you're not grounded in what the hey, are you getting paid? Are you getting paid for your skills and abilities out there more than what you want? Then if you're not, then you're not there yet, buddy. Let's be real here, and let's have a real personal skills audit of what your current situation is. You need to have an honest assessment of your current skills versus the future demands that you found out that you need, that are going to be in demand, and do the comparison and understand what the discrepancy is, so that you can get yourself from here to here. Use self-assessment tools out there, guys. Prioritize the skill building instead of chasing everything at once. You can't even begin. We can't even begin to move into the other areas, the other systematic steps that you need to take if the skills aren't there. Because if we were to help you get to the other, if I were to help you get to a point where you land the job, right, or you get the position or whatever, you're not going to last. Because on the job, they're going to find out real quick within a month. They're going to be like, we hired this guy, he BS'd his way through the process. He's here now, and now we got to deal with him, but he has no idea what he's doing, and we're losing money on this guy. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's immediately start hiring some other people and get rid of this clown. Right? That's something you could do, but I mean, let's have some there's a correct way of doing things, guys. So part of that is developing your skills and developing your abilities out there. Prioritize skill building. You got 24 hours in a day. I give you 8 hours of sleep. You got 16 hours left. What do you do with that 16 hours of time? 12 hours of it playing video games? Be real. Get real, guys. Let's prioritize what we need to prioritize here. All right. I don't know what you're doing. If you're not making progress and improving your skills, I don't know what you're doing. But you're wasting time, dude. Before you know it, 5 years are gone, 10 years gone. You don't want to be there. You gotta use your time wisely. Okay. Here's the wake up call. Most of us don't even know where we stand. Is the reality. Do an honest skills assessment, guys. Do an honest skills audit. Where are you strong? Where are you behind? There are free tools online to measure your strength and your weaknesses, guys. And don't try to learn everything. Instead, focus on the skills that directly align with your future goals. Number 4, strategic upskilling. Continuous learning. Continuous learning needs to be a part of your game. It needs to be a part of the way that you do things out there. You have to continuously learn, get micro certifications, do courses, do boot camps, do whatever you need to. Most people are not disciplined enough to just go heads down and learn things on their own to a point where they actually be useful to a company to hire. You gotta put in the time. You have to have interdisciplinary knowledge. You know, have some unique value that you bring. Like this, we can hire John who can do this, but Mo over here can also do this, and this. Yeah, and I think it's really worth it to hire Mo because he brings a lot more to the table. We can throw him all over. We can use him for all kinds of stuff, not just you know. So you know, network strategically in emerging industries. All right, right. Once you know what your gaps are, once you understood the demand and you know where you lack in skills, and you know where the gaps are, you got to start filling them strategically, guys. That could mean micro credentials, online courses, apprenticeships, hiring a mentor, a coach that can help you. That links in the description for the Patreon. Join the Discord. We can start getting potentially looking more closely at some of this stuff. The real edge comes when you blend disciplines like combining design with data science or psychology with AI. You know, and don't just learn in isolation. Network with people who are already playing in the industries of tomorrow. Links in the description, guys. Patreon. Go ahead and join so we can start making some progress for you guys, right? Opportunities come to those who are connected, which ties into my video of finding a mentor, right? Finding a coach that will help you. It'll draft. That's an unlock. Help you speed up your process of where you're headed, right? So point number 5, the resilient professional's mindset. Okay, you should always have a growth mindset. Challenge yourself, guys. Don't just stagnate. Challenge yourself. Challenging yourself opens up opportunities for you. If you're feeling all comfortable and cozy and you're at where you're at and you're all steady and everything, something's wrong. If you're not feeling if you don't have any discomfort in your life or in your day-to-days, then something's wrong, because discomfort equals growth. In your mind, you need to tell yourself, if I'm not feeling uncomfortable, something's wrong, because if I'm not uncomfortable, that means that I'm not growing. But if I am feeling uncomfortable, like I don't know how to do this, I got to figure it out, that means you're growing. You need to have that mindset, right? You need to get comfortable in that zone, right? You have to constantly reassess and pivot. Never get comfortable, guys. Always reassess, always be nimble, always be ready and willing to pivot and to be a solution finder for your life. Don't have the victim mentality. Be ready. Be ready for it out there, guys. Your ancestors were out there fighting saber-toothed tigers. They didn't know which direction that saber-toothed tiger was going to come from. There are different types of saber-toothed tigers in today's world. Your ancestors, let me say that again. Your ancestors were out there fighting saber-toothed tigers. They didn't know where they're going to come from. There are different kinds of saber-toothed tigers today that you got to be ready and nimble for out there, guys. Okay? So skills will change. Tools will also change. You got Chat GPT today. Maybe there's something else that's going to come out that's going to beat that and blow it out of the water, right? The real constant is your mindset. Cultivate the growth mindset. Embrace discomfort, okay? Because that's where the real growth happens. And treat your career and your path and everything else like a living, breathing system. Reassess, pivot, and evolve as the world shifts, guys. That's how you stay relevant, and that's how you start thriving. Okay? Get rid of that victim mentality, victim mindset. There are solutions out there. There's right ways and wrong ways of doing things. There's people out there, while you're over here at your victim mindset talking about how you're struggling, are there not people out there that are thriving? Are there not people out there that are doing a lot better than a lot of other people? Yes, there are. There are people out there. So if they're able to do it, why are you not able to do it? I'm going to go ahead and say to you about the answer to that is you are able to do it, but you got to get this mindset correct, guys. You got to get the mindset correct, and you got to start connecting with people that know what they're doing so they can help you start heading in the right direction. It's going to take work. It's going to take effort. We don't complain. We just take action and get the results. The results are going to come if you start taking the action and developing the right mindset, moving in the right direction, guys. Okay? So you don't need a time machine to future-proof your goals and your careers and your life path. Okay, guys, you already got the tools. You got your imagination, you got your discipline, you got your mind that you need to control, and you got the hours in the day. Those 24 hours in your day, those are your 24 hours. You get to pick and choose how you use your 24 hours. The only question is, what will you do with these tools that you know you have and that you have control over? There's nothing different between a deck of millionaires 24 hours and your 24 hours. They got the same 24 hours that you do. The difference is they do different things with their 24 hours than you do. While you're sitting there moping and victimizing and, oh my God, woe is me, they're out there, they're not thinking about that stuff. They're just taking action, moving forward, making progress, doing whatever they need to. While you're sitting here just like like a zombie or whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing, they're not doing. They're doing something else. So you need to figure out what they're doing so you can get the same results as them. Okay? So go ahead and leave a like the video. Go ahead and leave your comments down in the comments section. You can yell, you can scream, you can whatever you want to do. Let me know what your thoughts are, where you're struggling, where you're not. Go ahead and click the link in the Patreon. We can start connecting, join the group, and we can start moving forward in the right direction, thriving out there while everyone else is struggling. Join the Patreon, guys, and go ahead and subscribe to the video, and I will catch you on the next one.